Hi, this is Dan Major for Life the Basic Manual. In our first segment, I talked about addiction and chronic pain as co-occurring disorders. Now we're going to talk about recovery from these debilitating, chronic, and typically incurable conditions. And just because they're incurable doesn't mean that people who are afflicted with them can't go on to live lives of meaning, purpose, and quality. And recovery, really, in the big picture, is an ongoing process of learning, growth, and healing. It is the process of learning and practicing how to live a whole, healthy, and healed life. And part of the recovery process, perhaps at its essence, is coming to terms with, making peace with the reality that we have an addiction and that we have a chronic pain condition. And that is simply part of who we are. It doesn't define who we are, but it is part of who we are. In my case, it's part of who I am. And recovery involves giving up the fantasy, giving up the hope, giving up the wish that this bottom line reality could be other than it is. So as it relates to chronic pain, coming to terms with and accepting the reality that we are going to have some pain most of the time is an essential part of the recovery process. So learning how to accept and finding ways to live with the chronic pain that we have as gracefully as possible, while at the same time learning and practicing a wide variety of techniques, approaches, and skills that will help us manage any cravings we have related to our addiction, our thought processes, the feelings that can fuel urges to use, physical sensations related to discomfort that also drive impulses to use. And that includes, obviously, for those of us with chronic pain, the pain itself, and then dealing with our spiritual condition, which in the broadest terms relates to our connection with that outside of ourselves, our connection with that beyond ourselves, other people, the world as a whole, with nature, with any form of higher power that happens to work for us. So along those lines, there are no magic bullets, there are no quick fixes that solve addiction and or chronic pain. But there are a great many practices that can help facilitate our growth and healing, contribute to improving our ability to function, and contribute to improving our quality of life, and facilitate the recovery process. Given that addiction and chronic pain affect the four primary life areas of our mental functioning, emotional functioning, physical functioning, and our spiritual status, recovery from these co-occurring disorders has to include all four of those significant life areas. And in our next segment, I will be speaking more specifically about how that works in each of those four areas.